going to go over the 13 colonies in our nation's foundation. So let me explain this chart that we've been going over. The New England colonies were settled to practice religious freedom. The industries in the New England colonies were for lumber, shipbuilding, international trade, and the culture was small towns and family farms. In the middle colonies, they were settled for family farms and businesses. And the industry that they focused on was agricultural trade, barley, wheat, and other grains. And the culture, it was cities and hard good industries. And then in the southern colonies, they settled to set up large agricultural trading companies. Industry means like how they made their money, was plantation, farming of tobacco and cotton and rice. And their culture, so like how everything was ran. Small towns served as plantation trade. And just to give you a context of the time era, the English North American colony period was from 1607 to 1732. And by 1750, the population grew to 2 million, integrating many groups. And then also something to note, growing disagreements with England along the shared democratic ideals and trades led to the Colonial Assembly of 1774. And as you can see, of the 13 colonies, these are actually states that are in the United States, 50 states. So, for example, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and then all these other small colonies. Do you guys have any questions or comments about any of that? Yeah, go ahead.
How much did the population increase?
The population grew up to 2 million. Good question, bud. Anybody else?
When the population increased, was there like less jobs for farming?
There was more jobs because then there was more production, and so there was more money to be made.
What was the main industry in the southern colonies?
Good question. The main industries in the southern colonies was plantation, farming of tobacco, cotton, and rice. And when we see the southern states, that's still a big industry that they do is a lot of farming and tobacco. Yeah.
How did they make the colonies?
How did they make the colonies? I think they just settled, and then they had different people that were governing the sections, and then it was basically on your region where you lived. Yeah. Go ahead.
What colonies made up the middle colonies?
The middle colonies were New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Great question.
What was the kind of jobs?
The kind of jobs for the middle colonies? Oh yeah, the kind of jobs were more industry and less agriculture, trade, and wheat and barley. So yeah, actually it's more agriculture and less industry. So a lot of plantation and stuff like that. Y'all have any other questions? No? Okay, so the interaction that we're going to do with is a play called Trouble at Jamestown. So Jamestown was founded in 1606 and lasted to 1616. And so we're going to talk about the interaction between the Native Americans and the settlers from Europe.
Where is Jamestown?
Jamestown. That is a good question. In Virginia. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Why was there like so much trouble against them?
I think there was just a lot of fighting and dispute. We're going to find out in this play. That was a great question.
How come they're all fighting?
I think they're fighting because the Native Americans feel like they're getting their land sold, and there's a lot of different things going on. So we're going to find out in the story, yeah? Okay, so let me call out the different cast characters, and then so you guys know who you're going to be. So Zach is a Virginia countryman. Albert. Omar is going to be Thomas. Samuel is going to be Gwen. Clancy is Haley. Paul is John Smith. The chief is Janae. The Nautic's Poton's son is Allison. Pocahontas is Luna. Pocahontas' brother is Ava. Non-speaking roles, you know who you are. John Ralph is the Jamestown planter, that is Jack, and Noah is the lady in waiting. So we're going to go over this so then y'all can learn more about the settlement of Jamestown and the colonies.
Brenda's not here. She's Queen Anne.
Okay.
So when her sister-in-law comes up,
Do you want to do it?
sure.
That'd be awesome. All right, so let's get started.